Hello everyone. Welcome to Age of Mythology Retold, the Retold edition. For those of you that are unaware, I'm a big mythology guy, and this is a main reason as to why that's the case. I love Age of Mythology. I loved Age of Mythology ever since I was a wee, tiny little child watching my dad play it, seeing a bunch of hurricanes and stuff decimate the opponent's buildings. But that's a separate topic for another time, I reckon. Today, I'm just gonna play some Titan level AI because I'm too anxious to go into the multiplayer side of things. But yeah, I'm just gonna play some AI. I don't particularly have anything that I have in mind. I've played a bit with Chinese ever since the Immortal Pillars came out. I'm not good with Chinese, but I could realistically pull off a victory with something with a Chinese civilization. Maybe not necessarily on the Titan AI, but definitely on hard. So yeah, let's go, I guess. I've rambled for long enough. River Nile. We're playing as Gaia. That's bad news. Gaia does not have the ability to teleport, I don't think. Right now, I think that I'm going to, strictly speaking, over-explain stuff to a certain level. Mainly because I have a friend edit all of these, and the problem with that is the problem with having a friend the problem with having a friend edit all of these is that I will not have the I've lost my train of thought. Cool. Basically, the problem of having a friend edit these specific videos for me is that he does not have all of the necessary context, and apparently he does not have any sort of context whatsoever because he does not know how RTS games work. I had to explain the concept of a rating to him, so that's fun. But yeah, no, separate from that, I think this should be fine. Ish. Hi Eric, by the way. Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna set up some economic plays. Gather some res. Nothing that should be terribly surprising. Normally I would like to keep everything a bit closer to my starting city, but because I'm playing Gaia and she has the lush, this green stuff spread around her economic buildings, I want to cover as much of the map as possible with that, because that holds a bunch of benefits for us. Oh, my opponent is in classical age already. That's that's what happens when you don't give yourself the opportunity to raid people early. My opponent is set. That is not good. And because he's set, yeah, he's used Ptah, which is bad news for me because, well, one of the key components about Seth in this game is that he basically has the ability to reveal maps, reveal map locations very easily. which in turn means that he basically has the opportunity to cast anything that he wants, wherever he wants, whenever he wants, without being limited by silly things such as line of sight or whatever else. Which is basically a big roundabout way of saying I need to be really, really careful. Yeah, Gaia does not have any sort of ability to easily cross a river. Which is not good. Basically, what this tells me is that I have to be on the defensive for the first several bits of playing this. I don't like being defensive, in case that's not immediately obvious by the fact that I mentioned heavy rushing. Oh boy. Who's that? That's a priest. Let's not do priests. Not keen on priests. Priests are very good against myth units on account of being heroes. And I have nothing but myth units for. Oh, let's not. Let's Nope. No! Dang it. That's a terrible carnivora placement. At least it's not particularly expensive. Alright. He has a number of axemen, which is not particularly good. Despite my better judgment, I think the way forward is with cavalry. At least I'm making sure that I snipe all of his, Who? There's a priest. Why is there a priest? Can you go away? Alright. I'm being surprisingly quiet about this whole situation. Let's see. Let's... Come on. My opponent is still in Classical Age, which means that theoretically we should be fine with attacking him head-on. Never mind. Although in saying that, it will give us a bit of an advantage. Basically trying to... Yeah, something tells me that unless I want to actively, like... Unless I want to actively just decimate his thing, my best bet would be to... Actually, here's an idea. Maybe I should just dot on his island. I wonder, how does ship take poison damage? Something tells me that if it were an authentic... Ooh! Let's, yeah. Please and thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That was silly of me. Cool. Problem is, I can't build there now. Primarily because these guys are going to wreck anything that touches that space, which is not exactly ideal because, well, let's just say I have nothing to fight those lads. So that's fun. See, I need more gold. Yeah, like I said, they will wreck anything that they touch. Normally what you would want to do is you would want to go for a bunch of archers with Rhea. Except for the fact that they have recently made it so that Rhea is in fact no longer the archer goddess and instead the goddess of infantry. I don't like the fact that all of the Tartarian spawn are trying to attack my ships. I feel like I should like my ships a bit more. Oh, let's not do that, shall we? Yes, attack me with archers. Well, I have nothing but siege. For reference, siege has very high pierce armor, and archers, well, they don't. Archers deal pierce damage. which basically means that one siege is realistically enough to shut down on the entirety of whatever your opponents have to offer in terms of armor, in terms of stuff. I do, however, want to actually double down on archers, because I want to double down specifically on the wooden units as opposed to food and gold ones. Oh boy. Something tells me that I'm also gonna be keen on... Yeah, you can stop with the heroic theme music. I'm not gonna do a whole lot there. Shall I tell you what? As one of the only... Thanks, Eric. Very helpful. I appreciate the sentiment, but I am a bit busy. A wee little bit busy. I really mucked up on the placement of my... Ooh, that's oh, never mind. Mystic Rejuvenation and... Perfect. What is that damage? No, not my Phoenix. Dang it. Thanks for sending me a bunch of food, by the way. I don't have any Caladria, which is rather upsetting. Caladria is the flying helo unit, for reference. I think that I would like to have at least one. Realistically. If I had picked Helios, I feel like Eric would have been able to see some familiar names. Does Gaia even have access to Helios? Sorry, not Helios, Hyperion. She doesn't have anything, anyway. Let's see. All right, let's kill the lot of you. Dang it. He sniped my siege tower, which is rather unfortunate. Priests. Do I build a thing here? Sure. Archer and Siege make a surprisingly good duo, especially when the siege in question is arranged. Oh well, that's not gonna stand. Stealing all of your opponent's farms just so you don't have to build it yourself. Come on, come on. The fact that this guy continues to produce camels makes me think that he has some stashed away somewhere. Hey, that's not good. If you could go away, that'd be... No, not my Galadria! Dang it. Send off. I'm in a very precarious situation, or at least I would be if it weren't for the fact that I knew how to play this game. Go away! More archers. Realistically, I can't just march my siege into this place. Oh boy. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to march my siege into this place. Sure. I want to know where the thing was. Oh, it was on the back. Fair enough. Yeah, this is just I was about to say a quick game of Age of Mythology, but evidently enough it was not quick or easy. It is a Titan AI, so it's not exactly as though I was getting myself into a situation where I didn't know what I was doing. But at the same time, it's also that this was a genuine mistake. Yeah, so that's cool. Quick overview, nothing too interesting. I did kind of hand the win to my opponent, mainly because I did kind of throw in with my opponent because of the fact that I just genuinely didn't know what to do when I was met with a fierce resistance of so much cavalry and so much just stuff. He did do the right thing, but he didn't. It didn't have enough of a firepower to actually defeat me properly. I think with enough cavalry, he might have been able to snipe it with either my archers or my siege, preferably both. But yeah, that wasn't going to be the case. So yeah, I'm gonna probably film some more Age of Mythology gameplay. I don't know how well Eric and I are going to adapt to this because, once again, Eric does not know anything about RTS games, so that's gonna be a steep learning curve. But for now, I think that it's a decent introduction both to him and to you lot, whoever may or may not be familiar with Age of Mythology. And yeah, I'll hopefully make some videos in the future. See you around, people.